One.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. I am Sally Reyes, a member of your Sergeant of Arms team. Plus, take out your phones and set them to silence. Please help me welcome our president and co-sponsor. She is also an assistant Division D director, distinguished Toastmaster, general intuitive, and guardian angel, the ineffable Cynthia Stott. Take it away.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that introduction, and welcome to Leaders Worldwide. I'm so excited. We have a great show today. Well, I say show, meeting today, and we welcome you. And a few of you guests haven't had a chance to introduce yourself, so let me see. Michelle, can you tell me our first guest? And let's make sure everyone is muted. Michelle, do we have?
I'm sorry, I accidentally muted you on me myself. So say that again. What was your question?
Guests. Who do we have guests? Oh, we have Natasha. She's she's a new member, newest member. So Natasha, would you like to unmute your mic and say, introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Natasha, and I'm joining you tonight from the British Virgin Islands.
Great. And you made it, and you have internet access. We're really excited because you're going to be there a little while. She normally is in Ohio, and she's one of our newest members, but you're not the newest member because Tracy is our newest member.
Well, and go on, introduce her, and then we have somebody else who's going to be our newest member, but isn't yet.
But she isn't yet, exactly. So Tracy Stewart, you want to unmute your mic and introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. Hi. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, my name is Tracy Stewart, and I'm from the Bahamas. This is where I live. And it's great to be a part of your organization now. I'm fully committed and looking forward to all the sessions and all the learning that I can get from each and every one of you.
Great.
Thank you for accepting me.
Great.
Back to you, Cynthia.
Thank you. Okay. And Regina.
Okay. Yes.
Regina, would you like to unmute your mic and tell us where you're calling in from? And you're going to be our newest member.
Yes, I paid my fee, but I did not fill out the application. I missed that part. Hi, everyone. Good morning. It is 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning. I live in Vietnam, and I met Cynthia on Clubhouse platform, and it was just a divine connection. So I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Glad you're here. Okay, and Salim, you're going to be a member, but today you are a guest. Well, we've got 4 new members.
Wow.
Absolutely. So happy to be here, based in Los Angeles, California. Just relocated actually from the Bay Area, kind of on the height of the pandemic. I said, it's a time to get some good weather and some sunny skies. So really happy to be here. I know how powerful Toastmasters as a platform is, just to enhance your speaking skills. And I'm looking forward to doing that and sharing stories and having a great time with each and every single one of you guys here on this call. Thank you.
Great. And our next guest, that's actually a guest. All these people are signing up because we're having a speech craft starting in August. And so they want to be a part of that special training and special opportunity to give more speeches and advance quickly. And Michelle, do we have the next guest?
Yes, we have Ava Wren.
Great, Ava. And do you want to unmute your mic and introduce yourself?
Hello, Leaders Worldwide. Eva Ran, currently in Dallas, Texas. It's about 8 o'clock, and every time I attend your meeting, I feel recharged, I feel refreshed, and I feel motivated and inspired. I think this is one of the best club I ever joined, and the meeting I attend. So thanks for having me. When the right time comes, definitely I will join. Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
By the way, just testing. How's my echo now? Still bad?
It's only echo when I talk or others. It's not an echo when you talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
Okay.
good because we can get you to talk and we just keep our mouths shut. We
Yes.
have another guest, and that's Sonia Pons.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, family. My name is Sonia Pons. I live in Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm a member of Toastmasters in District 36, 37, and 27. And I found
Wow.
out you guys on Facebook. So it's exciting. So thanks for having me.
Great. And this is your first time visiting us?
It is my first time, and I love that you guys have a guest registry. So I'm going to steal it.
Yes.
Back to
Google
my
form.
stuff. So thanks.
Google form. It has great responses. We can easily catch that information and import it into MailChimp.
And we have a longstanding guest, Roger Swenson is here tonight.
Yes. And a dignitary, Toastmasters dignitary.
Roger, you want to say hello?
Yes, I've been in Toastmasters for 42 years. I've been an area governor 5 times, division governor twice, and I belong to 6 clubs in the Boston and Cambridge, Massachusetts area. And so since the clubs went virtual, I've been going all around the United States and other countries virtually as a guest. So I'm pretty familiar with Toastmasters. So.
Awesome. Welcome, Robert. Okay. Any more guests?
I'm looking. I think we have covered it. Yes, we have.
Hey, well, welcome guests, welcome members. We're so excited to have this today. Is Rosemary here? She's our Toastmaster.
She is not here. So guess what, Cynthia? You have to take over.
Yes. Is Kadisha here as our timer? She's our timer,
She
right?
is here. Kadisha is here. She made it. She's important. We can replace the Toastmaster, but the timer, that's a hard one.
Yes. So Kadisha, would you like to introduce yourself as a timer?
Absolutely. Greetings, everyone. My name is Kadisha, and tonight or today, I am the timer. A hallmark of an effective speaker is the ability to express oneself in a specific amount of time. As the timer, I am responsible for tracking every part of the meeting agenda and ensuring all speakers abide by their allotted speaking time. I will alert the speakers by using the green, yellow, and red lights in my virtual background. For our prepared speakers this evening, I will show the green at the 5-minute mark, yellow 6.5 minutes, and the red at 7 minutes. For table topic speakers, I will show the green at 1 minute, yellow 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the red at 2 minutes. For evaluators, I will show the green light at 2 minutes, the amber or yellow at 2:30, and then 3 at the 3-minute mark. At the end of the meeting, I'll give the timer's report when called on. Over to you, Cynthia.
Great. Would you mind showing us, demonstrating the lights? Because they're very tiny. I have a hard time seeing them myself.
Okay.
So can you demonstrate them?
Here we have the green light.
You have to really pay attention.
The yellow and the red.
And the red.
Also, if the speaker goes beyond their allotted 30 seconds, I'm going to show the thank you.
Okay, the kaboom, thank you. Great.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kadisha. Thanks for keeping us on time. And is Jay Lichta here? He's the general evaluator.
Let me look. I do not see Jay.
Okay. So next I'm going to introduce Sally as our grammarian, and she's going to give us the word of the day and share her role with us. Sally.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I am the today's counter, so I get to count the unnecessary words in your speech, which will very well help you to understand how you can correct this to make your speech flow better and perhaps be a little shorter and in time. Our outstanding word for the day is outstanding. This is an interesting day, being the 5th of July. And let's see if we can use that word today. Thank you so much. See you at the end of the session.
Great. Thank you, Sally. And our master leader, Victor Irving Jenkins, is going to give us a quote from a leader. And take it away, Victor.
Can someone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. It says here, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And that's a quote from Viktor Frankl. I'm not sure if you know who Viktor Frankl is, but Viktor Frankl is an Austrian who found himself in a concentration camp many years ago. While he was in the concentration camp, he saw many of his friends be killed. Many of them didn't make it out, but he was determined that he was going to make it out. And the main reason that he said that he was going to make it out is that he wanted to share with the world and make sure that the world knew what was going on there, so nobody would ever allow something like that to happen again. So he's famous for a book entitled Man's Search for Meaning, and he understands that when you have meaning, you can suffer nearly any indignity. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have an inkling of what it's like to be in a concentration camp. And if Viktor Frankl can overcome his mind's tendency to despair in a concentration camp, what do you or I have to be despaired about? Whatever we are facing on a daily basis, it pales in comparison. Whether you think that you're being mistreated, whether you think that you're being underserved, whether you think one of those words that I've heard coming out recently, the marginalizing, or someone's marginalizing you, that mind that you have can change. And you don't have to accept someone else's idea of you. It's as Mr. Frankl said, when you are no longer able to change a situation, whatever that situation is, we are challenged to change ourselves. I happen to be a specialist on changing myself. Early in my career, when I was trying to be better, when I was trying to be different, from one day to the next, I would make alterations in how I lived and how I thought and what I said and what I did based on the feedback I got from others. Now, feedback from others is important, but it's critical that you not bind yourself to be what others think you should be. You see, we don't all have huge things like a concentration camp, but just the daily living from day to day. There's someone cutting us off in traffic, someone interrupting our conversation, someone not turning up for their role in the Toastmasters meeting. We have to manage all of those things. And managing those things come from the inside. So whenever the situation arises, you just take it by the horn and manage it. One of my favorite sayings is, self-mastery is the only game in town. And when you look at what Mr. Viktor Frankl said, certainly you can see how self-mastery can help you do what he is suggesting that you do. So I'm going to encourage each and every one of you, whenever you feel the urge to feel defeated, whenever you have done all that you can do, don't forget what Mr. Frankl said. If you can't change it anymore, you've changed it to the maximum degree that you can, change yourself. And that can be as simple as changing the way that you look at it.
Great. Thank you, Victor. Woohoo! That was excellent. And now we come to our keynote speaker, which is Dr. Michelle Petticolis. Let me read her introduction here so you won't see my face go away. The title of her presentation is 4 Essential R's of Toastmasters Leadership. 4 Essential R's of Toastmaster Leadership. And let me read her introduction. Dr. Michelle Petticolis is an international speaker, distinguished Toastmaster, and Area D30 Director. Founder of Second Chance Secrets, a professional training center. She enables coaches and healers and change makers to unleash their true brilliance so they can attract premium clients with high-end programs that make a difference in the world. Please help me welcome Dr. Michelle Petticolis, 4 Essential R's of Toastmasters Leadership.
I just want to make sure that you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Leadership, I believe, is in a process of transformation. That it's changing from this standard of coercion and force and pressure to a different model, a model of community and connection. And I believe that organizations like Toastmasters are the forerunners. So listen up, because I'm going to share with you 4 valuable secrets to leading in a volunteer organization. But before I do that, I would like to see a show of hands. How many of you are leaders in Toastmasters right now? We've got a bunch of leaders. Well, why am I not surprised? The organization here, our club, is called Leaders Worldwide. Now I would like to ask you to write in the chat what your major challenge is as being a leader in Toastmasters. While you do that, I'm going to share my own challenge. And my own challenge is getting people to do what I want them to do. Former President, US President Dwight D. Eisenhower said, leadership, and he wasn't just talking about leadership in a volunteer organization, leadership is the art of getting somebody to do what you want them to do because they want to. My 4 R's of leadership, my keys, are going to help you to do that. So the number one R is reason. Now, I'm not talking about logic here. I'm talking about the reason, the why that you became a leader. This is really, really important because it's going to have an impact on your longevity, on your commitment, on your showing up. When I started Toastmasters, I had a pretty wimpy reason. The former president, or the current president, he had already been president for 2 years, and I felt sorry for him. And also, I thought, well, it's a volunteer organization. I got to step up sometime. This is not a good reason. You need to have a vision. You need to have a personal reason. Otherwise, let's just get this over with, right? Fortunately, I got that vision very early on because the reality was, the former president said to me, presidency is the easiest role in all of Toastmasters because you delegate everything. That assumes there's somebody to delegate to. I didn't have enough people to delegate. So I had to enroll people. And my vision was that there would be enough members in the club that we would actually have a real officers election and maybe even shadow officers and teams. And that's what I worked towards. And then I actually moved to my next reason. And my next reason was more personal. What I found was as I stepped into my leadership, people responded to me. I even motivated some of the officers to be more than just name only officers. They started showing up. I'm like, wow, hey, I have some skills I didn't even know I had. And this actually raised my confidence and made me a more effective coach in the world. So look to your reason. And in fact, go ahead and post it in the chat. Yeah, I noticed there was delegating. Post in the chat what your reasons are for becoming a leader. So that's our number one. Our number two has to do with your team. It's respect. Part of being a leader in Toastmasters, eventually you learn you cannot do it all yourself. It took me a while. It took me until I started being the executive director of a Speechcraft on steroids. I couldn't do it all. I had to delegate. So I had to learn how to do that. And one of the R's for delegating is respect. Now, what do I mean by respect? I mean that you want to respect them by giving them the information that they need so that they can do a good job. And then let it go. Let them win, succeed, or fail, and allow them to do it. And if they do make mistakes, be there to guide them. But don't micromanage them, okay? Don't micromanage them. There's another reason, respect. Oh yes, time. Be respectful of their time. Do not carry on long, endless meetings that are unnecessary. Get to the point, have your agenda, get going, because we are busy people, and that's respect. So we have reason, respect, and the next R is rewards. Rewards. Well, in corporations and business, they use salary, bonuses as rewards. What do they do in Toastmasters? Well, we have certificates, we have medals, we have little pins, we have OATM. But what about you as a leader? What can you give? I'm going to give you a little secret. This is a really, really important secret. When I was working in a group home on the Navajo reservation, I was working with emotionally disturbed children. And do you know what the number one motivator in that behavioral program was?
Food.
My time. It was the most valuable reward they could get was my time. Not recreation, not goodies, not money. It was my time. And that's true for a leader. In Toastmasters, if you give your people your time, if you phone them on the phone and say, hey, that was a good job you did, that is actually very rewarding. If you take an interest in them, that makes an impression. If you share your approval or appreciation of them to other people in Toastmasters, you provide them with visibility, that's reward. And then you could find out what motivates them. In my original club, Heart to Heart, what motivated people were speaking opportunities. For one, we only met once a month. And two, everyone was an entrepreneur. They were dying to have speaking opportunities. So I went out and I made friends with a lot of different clubs, and I came back with special opportunities, target speaker, and I handed these little opportunities out as rewards. There are many ways in which you can do this in your club. And of course, you can always get a gift. Once in a while, that's appropriate to give a really special gift of acknowledgement. So when I finished my presidency after 2 years, Cynthia gave me a plaque. Okay, a plaque. I still have it on my desk because it says Club President Award in recognition of dedicated service and outstanding leadership. This means so much to me. So that's how you can use reward. So the last R is your reputation. If you have a good reputation, it does a lot of the legwork for you. It does a lot of the effort for you. People will show up because you have a good reputation. Of course, when I started, I didn't have any reputation at all. What do? You hang on the coattail of your mentor. Cynthia was my mentor, and she had a reputation. So when she introduced me to other leaders in Toastmasters, they took notice. They said, oh, so Cynthia's interested in her. There must be something about her. And she set me a task in which I had to reach out to those members and those officers and those dignitaries and get them to help us. And that was the way in which I created my reputation. Now, once in a while, I'm sorry, I'm having to look for the timer here. Oh, there she is. Okay. Hi. Once in a while, you might have to step out of your comfort zone and do something based on your integrity. So one time, I had to step out of my comfort zone because one of the members in my club was having difficulty with her HPL project. She had a member on her advisory board that she really, really needed in order to get her project up on the district website. And suddenly he went missing in action. Not only did he go missing in action, but a lot of her action team went missing in action. And so the other advisory committee, they started pulling out the big guns. They were like demanding he better show up. What's going on here? We're going to take action. Well, I actually liked this particular person. He had my respect. And even though this had nothing to do with me, I stepped up and I called him and I said, how can I help? Can I resolve this? And he responded right away. I set up a meeting between him and the member, and we came up with a solution. It was out of my comfort zone, but sometimes that is a sign of your leadership, is when you step out of your comfort zone and make a difference for other people. So now I would like you to write down what the 4 R's are in the chat. What do you remember? Now, Cynthia always taught me that when you're giving a speech, you want 3 points. People will always remember 3 points. 4 is too many. Here's my thought. The one that you forget is the one you need to learn. So go ahead. Oh, somebody's got all 4. Okay, you're good. Your reason for being a leader is the number 1 thing you have to concern yourself with. This is going to hold you through the course of your leadership. This is going to give you your guidance. This is going to give you your motivation. This is going to give you the way in which to continue. Back when I was giving speeches on caregiving, I used to tell the caregivers that you needed to have a good reason for caregiving, and just that people expected you to do it or that there was nobody else to do it is not a good enough reason. You actually have to have a reason that comes from your heart. So have a vision, have a personal objective. Number 2 is respect. Respect your team members. Give them room to grow and to develop. Number 3, reward them, acknowledge them regularly. This is your currency. This is the way in which they're going to come back again and again. And finally, number 4 is your reputation. Guard it carefully. When you have made a commitment, you honor that commitment. You show up, you be there, you fulfill it, because it doesn't take much to destroy your reputation. One time when I was giving the Speechcraft, we had a speaker who was supposed to show up, and like maybe an hour before we were showing up in downtown Oakland, he sends an email and says, oh, I didn't realize it was this tonight. I can't make it. And we had to jump in and figure out how to do that. Now, of course, being a good leader, you always have to have a plan B. But in that case, I have never forgotten. And that particular person would not be somebody I would invite to speak for me again. It's just, you hurt your reputation. So if you said you're going to show up and speak, make sure that you show up. Your reason, respect, reward, and reputation. If you have any questions, please post it in the chat. I would like to open it up for questions. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Oh, wow, that was excellent. Can we give a round of applause to Dr. Michelle Percoles?
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Great. It was excellent. And I love that you started with your reason, your why. Why do you want to become a leader? That's really important. And that will help you through the difficult times. Because as a leader, you're going to have difficult times, like when your speaker doesn't show up. So let me see if there's any other questions from the chat. Lots of them are putting in reason, respect, rewards, and reputation. That was from Carolyn. And I said, my reason for leadership is to change the world. Really is to change the world. And what a wonderful vehicle for actually changing the world at Leaders Worldwide. And let's see.
Cynthia, can I say something about that and you
Yes.
and leadership?
Yes.
So one of the things that I wanted to say about the reputation is sometimes you step out of your comfort zone, but sometimes you might even take an action that might seem to tarnish your reputation because you're standing in your integrity. And Cynthia, you're one of those people who goes out on a limb all the time because that's who you are. That becomes part of your reputation, is being a change maker. And I have great respect for you in doing that. And encourage other people that, there are times when you have to just stand up for what you believe in.
Absolutely. And a leader is not a people pleaser. You're going to have people upset with you, disagree with you, and you have to hold your integrity for what you think is right. You have to have a compassionate ear and empathetic ear to hear what other people have to say, but ultimately you have to make the decision yourself, and you have to stand in that integrity. And for me, integrity is being in line with my Creator. Because I say, God is my CEO. I mean, I'm the CEO, but God is my chairman of the board.
I love it. I love it. So yes, and then of course that story I told about that one member that was having difficulty with with her HPL. There was an addition to that story, but I wasn't sure how much time I had left. But we had made an agreement to move forward, and then something fell through the cracks and she did not get what she wanted accomplished. And I felt responsible. So when she wrote a letter that conveyed her distress, I sent a supportive letter.
Yeah.
And that may have tarnished my reputation with some members of Toastmasters. But you know what? I had to stand in my integrity. I had to let her know, and all of my members to know, I've got your back.
Yes. Yes. And it made you not so popular, maybe. I mean, you handled it with finesse and diplomacy, but you get a reputation for being a woman of your word. And that's really important.
And that's what I believe is important. So, hey, it's exciting there being a leader. And
yes.
I really encourage all of you to just keep on stretching, keep on stretching.
Mm-hmm. And so quite a few people said what leadership was, the reason for leadership.
Oh, yes.
So Kadisha said time management, and Sonia Pons said learn technology. Carolyn Douglas said delegating. Oh, that's a superpower.
That's it.
You got to be a delegator if you're a leader. In fact, you aren't a leader if you don't delegate anything to anyone. You're just doing it. You're
So
not
I call
leading any-
those, what I call that is being a hero.
Being
When
a
you do it
hero.
all yourself, you're a hero. That's not leadership. That's, you just go in there and do it all yourself. That's a hero.
And Natasha McLean says coordination. That's really key. Teamwork, coordination. And Sonia Pons again says to be a catalyst for excellence and empowerment.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are great reasons. That's awesome.
And Kimmy Avery says broadening my ability to influence.
Yes. Yes. And there is nothing like Toastmasters and working in a volunteer organization to develop that quality, because you cannot rely on force. You cannot rely on punishment. You have to, as Dwight D. Eisenhower said, former President Dwight D. Eisenhower said, you have to learn the art of getting people to do something because they want to.
Yes, because they want to. Not if they're just pleasing you as a leader, if it's more like a cult of personality, when you are not there, or when they fall out of favor with you, because that's the that happens when you're a leader. People don't like you anymore, then they won't follow anymore. They won't do it. So it's so much more powerful if they do it for their reasons.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Sonia says, what is a great R word for grace? Ah, that's so important for a leader to have grace.
About radiance.
Radiance. Oh, that's
No, I
beautiful.
love
Kimmy.
it. Beautiful, Kimmy.
Love it. And Natasha says, very well done, Michelle. And Sonia says, great job. Cassandra says she wants to help people become clear about their purpose, who they are, and their vision. So powerful. And Tracy Stewart says, motivating, Michelle. Great speech. And Rosemary Sweeney says, awesome information. Oh, what was does anyone have the outstanding quote from former President Eisenhower again?
You mean other than the quote that I gave? A different
Yeah,
quote?
the quote that you gave. Yes.
Oh,
please.
well, does anybody else want to say it? Because I can say it again.
Yes.
Leadership is the art of getting somebody to do something you need done because they want to.
Yes. Brilliant. And Carolyn Douglas says, you demonstrated leadership when the heat was on. True. That's when just like a sword, it's a trial by fire. The sword, to make a sword, is really sharp and strong. You got to put it in fire and you got to hammer it.
It's true. It isn't all a piece of cake, and you don't want it to, because you don't grow unless you are stretched, unless you are pushed, unless you are pulled, and unless you make mistakes, you just will not grow. And what I love about Toastmasters is that it provides us all with the opportunity to fail forward, to make our mistakes and learn. And there is nowhere else in which you get this kind of large organization and have this kind of impact on that many people in a situation in which you are held and supported and even allowed to fail.
Yeah, and that's a hallmark for Toastmasters. So even the high performance leadership projects, which are a high level, it's like usually in level 5, so all the way your last path, your last level of your pathway. They don't judge you on your results. You did a project, and usually it's the results. You are assessed on what you learned and how you grew.
Yeah.
And results are nice, but we're here to really learn leadership.
This is certainly the best arena for learning leadership, better than any other place, because you really get an opportunity to try out your skills and your abilities in a real life situation that has impact on people.
And that's why Toastmasters International's motto is where leaders are made, not born. You're not born a leader. And even if you are with leadership tendencies, you can hone your skills. So it's where leaders are made, and you progress greater and greater as you go up further and further. That's one thing I've learned in meeting with these amazing leaders that are, you know, the international presidents and the regional directors, is that you keep learning those leadership lessons all the way.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
Okay. Is there any last words you want to say?
Yes, outstanding. Being a leader is outstanding. It's an outstanding experience. Being a leader in Toastmasters is an outstanding experience. Takes you outside your comfort zone and really forces you or encourages you or empowers you to grow.
Absolutely. And your presentation was absolutely outstanding. Let's give her another round of applause.
Thank you.
Woo! Great. And now I'm going to turn it over to Rosemary Sweeney, who is our Toastmaster of the day. And she's going to make sure that we pause the recording and take our 5-minute break. Rosemary, take it away.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you for that outstanding information you gave us. We are going to always remember our 4 hours throughout the day and throughout the coming months so that we grow as leaders. At this time, we have a 5-minute break. I would ask for our recording to pause, and we will be back in 5 minutes time.
Okay.
Enjoy your break. General evaluator. I will be the Toastmaster of the evening and the general evaluator. So I'm going to evaluate this portion of the meeting, starting from Michelle 4 hours, which was very outstanding. And our first speaker is going to be Kimi Avery. I hope I pronounce her surname properly, Avery. I love that name. I will now call on her evaluator, Kathleen, to read the objectives of her speech.
Kimi Avery is in level 3 of visionary communications, and this project is inspire your audience. The objective is to present an enthusiastic and inspiring speech that inspires others. And it's 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, so Kimi is going to present a speech, as you heard, 5 to 7 minutes, the title of which is What Does Perfection Have to Do with Beauty? She's a relationship navigation specialist, and she is going to teach us all about the beauty market and make us feel ugly, which makes us feel ugly, instead of helping us to reveal our true beauty. She says beauty is about radiance and recognition, that when you love on your uniqueness, you will radiate beauty. So she's going to show us how to love our uniqueness to radiate beauty and not be fooled by what the market is saying. Let us welcome Kimi as she presents her speech, What Does Perfection Have to Do with Beauty?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. In 1997, Baz Luhrmann said, "Don't read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly." Anybody remember that song? It was powerful and it was filled with great lyrics, but we spend so much of our time feeling ugly. In reality, your beauty is the essence of who you are. What does perfection have to do with beauty? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Have you ever felt ugly, even though you put yourself together really well? Have you ever pointed out your flaws when your sweetheart told you how beautiful you were? Even though you want to believe them, there's a little voice in your head that says, well, if my nose were straighter, if my thighs were bigger, if my hair was shorter or longer or bluer or red. We have this litany of things going through our head as women, telling us that a better woman would be a better lover, mother, friend, worker, leader. It goes on and on and on. In my mind, that is all about instinct, and it's all about survival. I'm Kimmy Avery, and I'm a relationship navigation specialist. I help men and women to navigate their relationships by understanding each other. There are certain things that men will never understand about women. And there are certain things that women will never understand about men. For instance, when a man's watching a sports game and we try to have a conversation and he either doesn't hear us or he gets grumpy because we've interrupted, that's something that a woman typically won't understand. Why? Because women have this diffuse awareness. We pour into every direction. And then when a woman is talking on the phone and cooking dinner and working on a project and doing the laundry and planning a vacation all at once, somebody will tell her to focus on one thing. That's something that a man will never understand about a woman. We are, as women, we are externally motivated in general. Have you ever been in a dressing room by yourself, shopping by yourself, and asked the person in the next dressing room if that outfit looked okay on you? Yeah, it's not just me, right? You've done that, and you've seen women do that. We tend to be externally motivated. We care what other people think. That's part of survival. In our lives, we have an instinctual mode of being and we have a spiritual mode of being. I like to see them in circles here. The lower one is the masculine provider protector energy or the feminine supporter adapter energy. And these play out in a lot of ways. The beauty industry makes an enormous amount of money on our instinctual responses. Have you ever been in the beauty aisle and tried to figure out what's going to make your hair a little shinier, what's going to make your lips a little redder, the right color for you, highlight your eyes? There's plastic surgery to shape your body in a certain way. The beauty industry is a $93 billion industry as of 2020. $93 billion. The beauty industry makes money off of you not believing in yourself. We have certain ways that those instinctual responses show up. The instinctual response keeps us on track, trying this internal voice, trying to make us better. That internal voice that says, oh, do you see this pimple here? Or do you see this roll of fat here? Or do you see whatever it is? We strive for perfection. And perfection from that perspective is actually kind of ugly. You ever been around somebody who you think is just amazing and they spend their whole time pointing out their flaws? It's not really fun to be around that. We worry about that person. We try to say things to make them feel better, but it can't even get in because there's this kind of barrier from this internal voice in our head. That is a hard place to be. And many women I know spend a lot of time there. Now, spirit is the other side of it. Spirit is up here. Spirit is where beauty lives. And beauty is that internal radiance of self-love, like loving yourself. Oh, I like my curves. I like my skin. I like how I show up. Being able to turn off that voice and be able to be present with what is and with the people in your lives. Being able to be present with your audience, to really connect with them. Whether it's your family or here on Toastmasters, or even as you move through the grocery store. Being able to be present and alive. That's where radiance shows up. And my mission is really to inspire and enliven my clients, spiritual warriors, to live their dreams and shine their light to the world. And I do that through helping them have great relationships and through believing in themselves, through understanding this distinction of perfection that is striving, and beauty, which is about showing up and radiating you in an outstanding way that is captivating and mesmerizing to the people around you. Back to you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you. Thank you for that outstanding speech. We know that beauty is deep within us. And Avery, you brought it out. I wish you were here for you to speak to some people at my workplace, because you can see the burden of not being beautiful. They carry it on their shoulder and they are beautiful. But you try to tell them that, and now I know it is a spirit which is blocking them from hearing that they are beautiful. At this time, we are going to have our next speaker, Deborah, and we call on Joe to.
Can we have a
you have
minute
1
of,
minute
We need
silence?
1 minute,
Sorry.
yeah.
1 minute of time of
1 minute,
evaluation?
yeah.
Thank you.
1 minute for the evaluation. 1 minute silence. Thank you, Madam Timer. At this time, we call on Joseph to give us the objective of Toastmaster Deborah's speech.
Thank you, Rosemary. It's Joe.
Joe. Joseph.
Joseph's my dad.
Joe.
Okay. Deborah is giving the final speech of her level 5 of her path. This is her level 5 speech on innovative planning. It'll be about 10 to 12 minutes. And the purpose of this project is for her to reflect on her growth during the completion of the innovative planning path and to share some aspect of this growth with us. Why does it matter? Back to you.
Thank you, Joe. At this time, Toastmaster Deborah is going to present her speech, the title of which is Path to Consciousness. Deborah Winner, distinguished Toastmaster Deborah Winner, will be speaking tonight about her path to consciousness, her journey from her 10-year-old self to now. It is an inspiring speech about overcoming from victory to victory. Let us make her feel welcome. Toastmaster Deborah on her path to consciousness.
Are you listening to yourself, or are you making your current decisions from your 10-year-old self? Let me take you back to when I was 10 years old. It was a chilly, winter, snowy day. A group of children were sliding down the fluffy white snow on the bunny hill, laughing with glee. However, I was standing on the top of a different hill with my overbearing and manipulative sister and my only friend, Julie. Our hill was a steep, dangerous, terrifying hill. Julie and my sister wanted me to go down it on a rickety old wooden sled. I'm full of fear, but I'm used to doing what I am told. If you were standing there with me, you would have heard them say, "Come on, Debbie, you can do it. Stop being such a scaredy cat. Chicken, chicken, chicken." I just wanted them to stop pressuring me. I wanted them to like me. I chose them over me. Oops, excuse me. Have you ever chose another person over yourself? Against my intuition and gut instinct, I got onto that rickety old sled. Within a few seconds, I think to myself, this is a bad decision. The speed is picking up. The bushes and trees are flying by me faster and faster. There's no way to slow this thing down. No way to stop this thing. I have to think quickly. I make a sudden and tragic decision. I see a tree ahead of me and I aim for it, thinking it will stop me. Oh my God. Bam, my face smashes into the tree. My bones crack. I was in a puddle of blood. My nose is broken. It still affects me. Decades later, my nose is crooked. It's hard to breathe. I can't help but feel remorse. Why did I get onto that rickety old sled when I didn't want to? Why did I let my sister and Julie goad me and bully me into a bad decision? My gut was telling me no, but I couldn't say no. That's how I found myself making many bad decisions over my lifetime without thinking if it was right for me, safe for me, or if it's what I wanted or needed. You might wonder how a 10-year-old could have been so easily convinced to take this dangerous sled ride. I was born into a severely abusive, dysfunctional, and neglectful home. In my family, the abuse of children and women had been going on for generations. There was an unwritten code of silence that kept anyone from getting help or stopping the abuse. By the time I was 10 years old, I had learned that no was not an acceptable answer. I had been groomed to serve and please everyone around me. My needs were not important. My role was to do what I was told every time without question or complaint. For me, survival in my family required complete and immediate compliance. If my intuition or gut feeling was telling me otherwise, I had to ignore it, tune it out, and turn it off. Is your internal GPS system or intuition turned off? Most of us use a GPS system on our phone or in our cars. We can't get to our destination without it. It tells us where to go next and when to turn. By the time I was 10 years old, I had lost connection to my own internal GPS system, my intuition. Is your internal GPS system on silent mode? Or is the volume so low it's a whisper? The worst part about the abuse I suffered was that I had lost my identity. I didn't know who I was because I had lost my connection to my intuition, my ability to set healthy boundaries, and my ability to feel and understand emotions. There are many circumstances that could lead to you pushing down your intuition. Were your parents strict, religious, immature, neglectful, or absent? Maybe you had harsh teachers, manipulative friends, or a domineering boss. I did. Were you taught that no was not a complete sentence? Maybe you were told that what your intuition was telling you was wrong or incorrect. Maybe you were gaslighted with, it didn't happen that way. Have you ever realized after the fact that when your intuition told you to turn left and you turned right, and maybe something bad happened like a car accident? Maybe you override your intuition by being so busy you cannot hear it. I did. With my intuition turned off, I could only feel pain, anxiety, and panic. But underneath the pain were all the emotions that I was never allowed to feel. I couldn't feel or distinguish between my emotions of sadness and anger. Do you push down your anger so that it turns into sadness and depression? Are you numb? You might have heard of fight, flight, or freeze. There's a fourth survival strategy, fawn, which is people pleasing. I was always on high alert, filled with panic and anxiety and fight or flight mode, watching out for people's needs. I was Debbie on the spot. If you needed something, I was already on it. This is how I survived my childhood and most of my adulthood. Do you have healthy boundaries? I grew up not being taught about personal boundaries. I thought a boundary was a fence between two properties. I learned that I was overstepping others' boundaries by over-helping. I was depriving people of learning the lessons they came in to learn by saving them, by stepping in before they even asked for help. This pattern of ignoring my own needs and overgiving took a huge toll on my physical health and energy, causing the suppressed emotions to go into my body. My adrenals were compromised. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, exhausted and drained with no energy left. There was an area of my life where I felt alive and energized. One of my favorite things to do was to visit model homes. I would tour these beautifully decorated homes, and I would say, this is great. It feels so good. I was inspired by the way I felt in these homes. I began to practice what I called decorating, and it changed the energy of my home. I could see how these changes affected people and their energy. They would light up. I realized I had a gift for creating beautiful spaces that people would never want to leave. I continued with this journey and became a certified Western Feng Shui master. I guide my clients to change their spaces and how they feel on both the inside and the outside. Separately, I have owned a successful business with my husband for over 33 years. Recently, my employees told me they didn't want to go into the office. They told me they didn't like the way it felt. Because of the COVID-19 lockdown, it had been over a year since I had gone in myself. I went in and saw that it needed an update. The energy in the office was not inviting people to want to return from working from home. It felt old and stagnant. I made significant energy adjustments utilizing my expertise as a feng shui master. If energy doesn't flow well, it becomes stagnant. If the energy in a business becomes stagnant, the sales may become stagnant. After making feng shui changes, our sales increased significantly. Within 8 months, our sales increased by 88%. This increase is because the energy has improved. Employees are excited to come to work and to talk to customers. They are motivated, creative, and productive. Just like you can feel the energy of a room, you can feel the energy of the people around you. I loved that I could use my feng shui skills in my home and office to make people feel good. What I hadn't done yet was feng shui myself. I needed to feng shui the energy inside of me. I needed to declutter, toss out the old garbage, the beliefs and perspectives that didn't work for me anymore. Fix your inner landscape and outside environment. Then you can change your results, including your communications, relationships, and business endeavors. There wasn't just one moment that woke me up to begin my healing. For me, it was a series of painful and bad decisions that propelled me to change. I now heal myself by meditating, being still, and breathing. These practices allow me to trust myself and the voice inside of me. I can set healthy boundaries, speak up for myself, and shed the people pleasing. I feel and understand my emotions. I remember who I am. I protect and clear my energy so that I can heal my physical body. I make decisions for my current self rather than for my 10-year-old self. If you were sitting with me and my son, Aaron, you would have heard him say, "Mom, do you want to go bobsledding?" This time, my 10-year-old self wasn't in control. I was able to hear my intuition guiding me to know what was auspicious for me. And I said, "Hell no." This time, no was a complete sentence. I didn't know that no could feel so good. All this internal reflective work wasn't just for me. I discovered that I am here to change my lineage. I am the one that is willing to speak up and to work on myself. While changing myself, I am changing those around me and my family for generations to come. You might be wondering, can you apply this to yourself? Yes, you too have the powerful gift of intuition. You can set healthy boundaries. You can learn to more deeply feel and understand your emotions. You will experience more joy. It is never too late. You can change, grow, and evolve. I can see you. I can feel you. I can understand you. If it's not too late for me, it's not too late for you. If I can do it, so can you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for letting us know that no is a complete sentence. We will have 1 minute of silence for the evaluator. Thank you, Madam Timer. At this time, we have our table topic session. And I just want to remind us that the word of today is outstanding. Our theme is a special day. So today is a special day and we are going to give outstanding table topic responses. Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Rosemary, Toastmaster Rosemary Sweeney. Yes, the theme is a special day. I want you to think about that before I ask the question. And the first question is, what was a special day in your life that you will never forget? I'm going to repeat that. What was a special day in your life that you will never forget? This first question goes to Carol Douglas.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master, for an outstanding question. There have been many special days in my life, and I'm trying to think of one that I shall share. Here it is. I am a young girl. I'm standing with my cap and gown on, and my hair is all curled. And I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world because it is such a special, special day. All of the people that I know are standing right there around me, and I'm just beaming because they're saying all of these beautiful things to me. And all of a sudden, there's a new face before me, and that new face said to me, "And what are you going to do when you grow up?" And I said, "I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to help people." So what you need to know is that this one outstanding moment was my special day of remembrance, because it was the day that I graduated from kindergarten. And all of those people that were around me that were saying these beautiful, wonderful things put me on that trajectory of thinking about my life and what did I want to do in life. I will never forget it. I'm really happy that when I asked what was it, it immediately came back to mind. Toastmasters is where leaders are made. No one told me about Toastmasters at that time, but on the trajectory that was set for me, I got on the path. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Carolyn. And you know, it's amazing, but in kindergarten, you made the decision what it was you wanted to be. I know a lot of people, 50, 60, and 70, still don't know what they want to be when they grow up. So that was a great revelation that you gave us. Now, the next question is, what is your favorite holiday and what makes it special, a special day? So what is your favorite holiday and what makes it a special day? Now, I don't have gallery view, so any guest that wants to answer a Toastmasters, please put your video on. And it looks like Natasha is going to be the next person to answer a Table Topics. So did you hear the question or do you need me to repeat it?
Thank you. I heard the question. Thank you so much. Good night,
All right.
everyone. I would say my favorite holiday is my August festival in the British Virgin Islands, because it's how we celebrate our emancipation from slavery. And it's really not only one holiday, but it's 3 holidays. So the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the month of August, we are celebrating our emancipation from slavery through parades, troops, delicious food and traditional things and skits, you name it, we do it. So I really, really enjoy that special way how we celebrate our emancipation from slavery. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you know, it's in America, finally, Juneteenth is going to be celebrated. So you have already been celebrating this day for a long time. So thank you for that answer. All right, my final question is, what person makes it a special day for you? So now, what person makes it a special day for you? And I'm going to call on any guest that has their video on. Okay. No one has their video on.
We've
So
got
I'm gonna,
Salim,
Salim.
Sonia, and Regina are all guests. So any of you, and would you
Willing to
like
step
to?
up? Okay. Tracy, I'm going to throw it to you. A form, going to be a recent member. Do you need me to repeat the question?
You said what day makes it, what person makes a day special for me?
Exactly, yes.
There are so many people in my life that could make my day special, and I would have no reason to exclude any of them, but I will highlight my daughter because she admires me so much as a mother. I really feel that she looks up to me. She expresses it verbally, and she also shows me that. I see how much she looks to me for guidance and advice and just the nurturing that a mother gives. And I truly see that I'm a mentor to her because she constantly says it to me. And I do believe her. We have a bond that it makes me feel good to know that she feels that way about me, and I do that about her. We're a small family. She's an only child. So I cherish that she sees me as someone that she can talk to, and on the level of a mother as well as a friend if she has to. There's nothing that she can't talk to me about, and she knows that, and she shares a lot with me being a young adult. So I think that I'm really appreciative of that because I know that it does not exist for everyone. So she makes me feel special about every day because I brought her into this world and I gave her life. And so we share that and so much more. And that's why I feel that she makes every day special for me. Thank you. Back to you.
Oh,
Dr.
excellent,
Master.
excellent. It's nothing like a bond between a mother and a daughter. At this point, I need to return the meeting back over to our Toastmaster. Toastmaster Sweeney, over to you.
Thank you so much for those questions which focused on our special day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. At this time, we are going to invite, well, I am the general evaluator. So at this time, I am going to ask our timer to give us her time, please, for the speeches and the evaluation.
Madam Table Topics Master and Journal Evaluator, I'll give the timing report for the prepared speakers and the table topic speakers. The
Yes,
evaluators
thank
haven't
you.
spoken yet.
Yeah.
Victor, in the opening, spoke for 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Michelle Patacolas, 14 minutes and 7 seconds. Kim Avery, 7 minutes, 34 seconds. Deborah Wiener, 13 minutes and 49 seconds. For table topic speakers, Carolyn Douglas, 2 minutes and 14 seconds, Natasha McLean, 51 seconds, and Tracy, 1 minute and 58 seconds. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'm going to call our first evaluator, Kathleen, to present her evaluation of our first speaker, Kimi.
Kimi Avery, you delivered an outstanding speech, beautiful inside and out. I loved how pointed and focused you were in your delivery. It started out with a bang, with a quote that revealed, it made me think of the applicability of the point of that speech for centuries in the past and now. You were confidential and intimate, and yet a little bit hard driving, a little bit unrelenting toward your purpose, which then turned, you were talking in general terms, and then you said, perfection from that perspective is actually kind of ugly. I thought that was very powerful, and it made me pivot into the way I heard it, is that you then looked at the unflattering underbelly of the industry that exploits our insecurities. And you defined some and pulled the veils away from the industry. And so I thought it was a beautiful speech, and I'm asking myself, well, how could I possibly make it better? Well, I might use humor, because you had the business, you'd cornered the business, and now I might want to laugh at it. I might want to make fun of it. I might want to feel I've risen above it by laughing at it. So make some humor out of it. And then I might also have pointed out some characters who might not present the superficial prettiness, but who are beautiful and magnetic. I thought of Emily Dickinson and Mary Oliver, who they just make me see beauty, but they didn't have the, I don't know, painted nails or thin thighs or whatever. These are just little makeup I might put on this speech, but in general, I found your speech outstanding and beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Evaluator. At this time, we call on Joe to present his evaluation of our second speaker's speech.
Can everybody see and hear me?
We can hear you,
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah, our fellow Toastmaster and friend, gave us the final speech in her innovative planning, level 5, and the entire path. She reflected on her path. She took her took a big portion of her life. She took the project and she made that into a 10 to 12-minute speech that reflected on her growth as a Toastmaster and as she completed this path and in her life. I really loved how, Debbie, you framed your message. You used framing very effectively here. You gave us a sentence that summed up your speech, and then you worked your way into the raw themes of your message, such as bullying, abuse, sickness, and how you overcame these obstacles. Your speech, what I really liked about your speech was it didn't just reflect the pathway. It felt like a reflection in general, dare say an icebreaker on your life. I feel this could be a potential international speech contest speech with a little work. One thing I'd like to challenge you to work on, though, is relating your life story towards your Toastmaster pathway. We got a good glimpse into the challenges you overcame, but as somebody who hasn't completed your path, I had no idea what you did for your path. I've seen this type of speech before in Beijing, China. One of my fellow Toastmasters completed her path. Another thing I'd like to challenge you on is find a way to incorporate humor into speeches that deal with difficult topics. Look at Danijaya Hiderashi's I See Something in Your speech for a great example as to how to get that done. And, well, congrats, great job on completing your path. Try another path. Earn your pathways ETM you haven't yet. If you earned one already, go ahead and earn another one. Back to you.
What happened to the sound?
Rosemary? Oh, you're muted.
You've got to unmute. There you go.
Yeah. I would like the timing of the evaluation speakers, please.
Sure, Madam General Evaluator. Our first evaluator, Kathleen Phil, spoke for 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Our second evaluator, Joseph Dombleski, spoke for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They're both within time. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. At this time, I will call on our grammarian to present a report.
Thank you. Today, we could have taken a little more time to use more outstanding words, but Michelle used it twice. Kimmy used it once. Isaac once. Cynthia once. Rosemary once. Kathleen once. And Rosemary twice and Carolyn once. I found that the delivery of sentences were structured beautifully and didn't catch any ahs, ems, ands, which is a terrific advantage and improvement in the skill of delivering a smooth speech. My outstanding words were empower, litany, complacence, and gaslight. Thank you very much for this wonderful day.
Thank you so much. And at this time, I will give a summary of our meeting. Can the timer tell me whether we started on time?
Yeah, we started on time.
Okay, thank you. Well, our meeting started on time. Though with me, there was Murphy. Murphy was playing some tricks, but he cannot beat our Toastmasters. We are a resilient group. And so our meeting started on time. We had very outstanding speeches, and we should listen to the speeches because it is a lesson for us going forward. We might meet people who were described earlier and we were really perplexed as to what is happening to them. Why is this beautiful lady feeling so ugly? But she's prettier than me, but she still looks at me and says, why am I not beautiful? So we know it is something we just have to help them along with. Our table topic master, he was prepared. Our meeting was prepared from yesterday. We had our agenda, although there were a few changes we could look at and send it in before so that when we start, we just go smoothly. Our evaluators, they were on point, they listened, and what I loved was that although they loved the speech and the speech is outstanding, there was room for improvement and they could tell us what could be improved so all of us can learn how we are going to add humor to our speeches. That will be our challenge going forward. And we should always try to sign up for our various roles so that it is not a rush at the end of the session. So we would help our Vice President Education ensure that the agenda goes out earlier because we sign up earlier. At this time, I would like to call on our Vice President Education, hand over the meeting to her. Thank you. Let us make her feel welcome. Kathleen.
Well, I am the outgone Vice President Education, and I want us all to support Mohammed in his picking up this very complicated job. And the best way we can do that is by picking up the email that is sent out through EasySpeak and clicking on the little button that says, I will attend this upcoming meeting, or I will not attend this upcoming meeting. I'm sorry to be so repetitive about this, but it would make it easier for Mohammed if we all do that. If we want to, we can help him out by volunteering for our upcoming meeting. And I can look at that quickly and tell you.
The 12th we have, but then our next evening session is on the 19th, and it's going to be a very special session because that's our installation of our officers. So we have only a couple roles that we need to fill on that. So, but watch for your emails from EasySpeak to see that you fill them out and then you participate.
Yes, I'm sorry, the schedule is not set up yet. So Mohammed will have to work on that.
Yeah, and like I said, we don't have many role players for the 19th of July because we're having a very special, well, I'll announce that in the announcements. Is there anything else you wanted to say about EasySpeak? Thanks for pitch hitting for Mohammed and speaking up about EasySpeak.
All I could suggest is if anyone is interested in July 12th, which is how many hours earlier? It's 7 hours earlier. There are roles ready for you.
So just watch your email. Great. We'll be working on that tomorrow and making sure that all the emails went out. Thank you, Kathleen. And thank you for your service. You've really helped us get up and running with this VPE and this EasySpeak. It's not been an easy job. So I really appreciate you, Kathleen. And now for announcements, that's the announcement. So it's July 19 in the evening. It's our officer installation day. Also, we'll be having our committee members. And if you want to be a committee member, please let me know. You can work for the VP of Education or VP PR or any of the other officer committees, because we really want a really good, robust officer team. And the most robust is our Sergeant at Arms, which has Zoom masters, and Isaac's going to be helping Curtis out with that. Curtis is our Sergeant at Arms, but Isaac's going to be helping out with their Zoom co-hosts. And so if you want to be trained, contact him or me, and we'll get you trained. We'll get you to be a part of that team. We also have greeters, and Michelle is leading the charge on greeters and helping them to welcome our guests and get everything, all our ducks in a row, so that we can get paid through the district for our open houses. We were able to get paid for 6 open houses last year, and I think it was $300. So it makes a big difference, and we were able to use that to purchase Zoom accounts and do some Facebook and some Facebook ads, and a lot more will be coming. So July 19th at 5:45 to 8 p.m. Pacific, San Francisco time. Mark your calendars. Even if you normally come in the afternoon, we really want you to come in the evening and support our officers and community members, and also our new members. All of our new members will be inducted into Leaders Worldwide, and by our special guest. Her name is Pat Johnson, and she was a 2010 international president over all Toastmasters International. She really made an impact. And one story that I heard about her from a subsequent international president, that this woman came up to him, and she was in full burqa and fully covered. And she said, "I so appreciate Pat Johnson as our president. She really showed me what's possible for a woman in leadership," which is really great. So she's been an inspiration, and she's still inspiring people, and she's mentoring our leaders in Toastmasters even now. She's very busy at Toastmasters. So she's going to come and see us on the 19th. So make sure to be there. So now is the end of our meeting, and we want to have takeaways and chocolates, virtual chocolates. So any of our guests, if you can, Michelle, can you help me with our guests? Do we have any other guests?
Yes, I can help you. So
Yeah.
let's see, who do we have here? We have, where's Ava? Do I still see her? It looks like we've lost most of our real guests, but Salim, you are still identified as a guest. So Salim, go ahead and,
Awesome.
Are you there?
Salim, would you like to share what you're taking away with you today? Maybe he's away from his mic right now.
Okay,
So,
we have
so Ava's right there, as is
she
Sonia.
is.
Yep.
Oh,
Ava?
great.
Sonia.
Why don't I see?
Yes. Sonia or Ava?
Oh, there she is.
Hi, Ava.
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Again, today, all the speeches I heard in from the meeting, they are beautiful and outstanding. Really beautiful and outstanding. My takeaway is it's quite a coincidence, but it worked out perfectly. The first speaker mentioned about I love that definition. The beauty is the essence of who you are. She mentioned one thing. Women are externally motivated. And then the next speaker, Deborah mentioned about we need internal GPS. So women, we are externally motivated, but we need internal GPS. I think the two pieces that just geared perfectly together. That's my takeaway. Back to you, Session Master.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Would you like to talk
Ava,
about
can-
Yes, thank you. Love it.
Here it comes. Woo. Thank you so much. And Sonia, would you like to share your takeaways?
Absolutely. I said in the beginning, I'm stealing your idea of the guest registry. I think that's awesome. But what I also love that you guys do, similar to speech contests, you take a pause after a speech to allow an evaluator to get their thoughts together. And it just allows an evaluator to really experience the next speech, because we're all, because the whole point of the Toastmasters mission is to build self-confidence. And I love that. And I'm going to take that back to my club tomorrow. I'm the Toastmaster of the day. And I'm going to ask us to pause so everyone can partake in understanding and really embracing someone's speech. And we're not so busy writing down the evaluation of the speech we just heard. So I thank you guys for teaching me new things and helping me be a star back in District 27. So thanks.
Awesome. Would you like a virtual chocolate?
Oh, absolutely. I love chocolate. I'm eating Oreos now.
There you go. No
And Celine?
calories, no sugar. Celine. Hi, Celine.
He might not be there anymore.
Okay. How about Natasha? What are you taking away with you today, Natasha?
Hi, everyone. I'm taking away lots of nuggets tonight, but I especially like the motivational speak given by Michelle, where she spoke about the respect, the rewards, and the reason. I really enjoyed her points and how she nailed them and pulled them all together.
Beautiful. Would you like a chocolate?
Sure.
Here you go. And
Thank
Tracy,
you.
you're welcome. And I'm
Thanks.
so glad you made it to the Virgin Islands. You were just traveling yesterday.
Yes,
and
I'm
so
tired.
glad. Yeah, I'm sure you are, but your internet is good. It's
Yes, thanks.
And Cassandra, would you like to share? Your mic is on mute.
Sure. I'd like to let everyone know that has spoken today that each one of the speeches has given me confirmation on my book that I have been writing for about 2 years now. So I'm just about to complete it, but it gave me confirmation that my story that I'm telling to the women and girls of the world and men, because they need to know this too, that they play a part in what women, little girls, little boys, what they feed into, that beauty, it comes from the inside out. And that's what my book is named, Beauty from the Inside Out, Inner Beauty, Outer Style.
Yeah.
Wow.
Inner beauty, outer style. It doesn't, I can dress a woman, put all sorts of clothes on, beautiful clothes, beautiful gowns, designer wear. But if it doesn't come from the inside, it doesn't matter. It radiates, like Kimmy says, from the inside out.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have, as women, that has girls, to model that, to let them know that what you see on Facebook selfies and all of that, you have to start as little girls to let them know that you're queens, no matter what the outside says, no matter what a magazine says.
Yeah.
Comes from the inside.
Beautiful, beautiful. And would you like a virtual chocolate?
I love some chocolate.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Tracy, would you like to share your experience, what you're taking away with you?
Yes, Michelle, she said that the one of the R's that you don't remember is the one that you need to work on. So I actually remembered the first three. Reputation is what I need to zone in on, and what do I want my reputation to be as a leader? What do I want to be said or perceived about me, or what impact do I want to have on others? So that is something that's close to me, and I will definitely use that. Thank you, Michelle, for your words of wisdom and inspiration tonight.
Yes.
Beautiful. I'm just getting plugged in. Thank you. And would you like a virtual chocolate? Tracy?
She looks like she's saying yes.
Okay, here it comes.
Cute.
Okay, great. And is Regina still here, or did she have to leave?
Regina, I don't see her.
You know, okay. Anyone else want to share their experience?
I'd like to.
Yes, Kimmy.
I am really moved by how this meeting was so synchronistic, where I was talking about radiating inner beauty, and Deborah sort of took that on and finding herself and saying no and setting the boundaries. And the feng shui, I love that her feng shui was all about arranging space. That's one of the things women do to calm ourselves down when we're going a little nutso. And then I love that Cassandra's comment about our speeches was about her book, because that essence is so critical, that to find that that's part of growing up as a woman. And our men need to know that we deal with this, which is kind of crazy making for us. And in fact, one of the things I tell my male clients is that when you tell your partner, oh, you are so beautiful, and you see her kind of cringe, you hold her and you say, I see it. That voice in your head, she's lying to you. I see your beauty. And then you get to be our hero. So I just was really moved by how all these pieces came together today. And then Michelle on how we show up in the world. It like just was perfect. Thank you.
Yes, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Another outstanding meeting.
Yes.
Absolutely. And would you like a virtual chocolate?
Yes, please.
Here it comes. Woohoo!
Can I just say one little thing?
Yes, Cassandra.
I just want to bring into one little aspect that people may not realize, that for a long time, Black women had to stand up to this standard of beauty of what a white woman looked like. And we didn't fit in that box when we went to the beauty counter, as you say, Kimmy.
Yeah.
And for hair products and all the commercials that were shown on TV, all the ads, and even when clothes that didn't fit because the body was different, shape-wise, and many times. So we had to break that, even in breaking into the modeling world, the whole bit. So
yeah,
and that
so
was again.
I saw Joy Reid today,
mm-hmm.
and her hair was braided like a crown.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, to me, like as a white girl, I've always been jealous of how the amazing styles that African American women or African women, Black women can do with their hair that, my hair's kind of frail and thin and all that, so I can't do that. But I love it, and it's so fun to see it coming to light more and seeing it on major media. It makes me so happy.
Yeah. So those things, it's become the law now that they can't get fired.
I know.
In so many states and corporate world, because a lot of times they were getting fired because they wore their hair in the certain style.
Right.
So all of this come into play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Cassandra. That's, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And that's what we're here for at Leaders Worldwide, to be inclusive and to celebrate our differences. We're not the same.
Yeah.
All of us are individuals, and we need to celebrate our differences and how we bring that difference to the world in our own beauty, inside and out.
That is part of the insight. You have to be confident in yourself. And like Kimmy was saying, you can't let what others say. And that starts at the home within the male and the female. You have to start at home. You can't blame what somebody else is saying out there. And that goes back to what Victor said in the beginning.
Yeah. On that internal voice that I mentioned too,
The mind.
Cassandra,
Mm-hmm.
that internal voice, it's most women think they're the only one who has that self-critical voice.
Right.
And when you realize that it's sort of a kind of a woman's phenomenon, then we can, like, it's easier to recognize her voice. To me, the voice of that woman is evil. Like she's criticizing you, and the voice of the divine in you is saying, you're beautiful, go speak, go shine your light, touch this heart, get out in the world and radiate. Like that's that impulse to do that is, to me, the voice of divinity in each and every person. And we have an opportunity to let that shine. And by the way, if you need a reviewer for your book, I'd be happy to talk with you about that.
Woohoo, yes.
Connections.
Yes.
Connections.
Rebecca, it's with Rebecca.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good.
It's with Rebecca, so yeah.
Yes, our Rebecca.
Yes. But
Yeah.
yes, that's what I wanted to bring up, just those little things that we sometimes don't know or tend to think it's
Forget. Great. Thank you for bringing that into the room.
But I would love to do a speech on that too, just to
yes,
that, yeah.
Along with your global village speech. It's very much about inclusion and every unity. Deborah says unity through diversity. Yes, we are one and we are all different, and we can celebrate.
And we can celebrate. That's it. And that's what I grew up with. Just
yes. Beautiful.
Thank you so much for allowing me.
You're welcome. Does anyone have anything else they want to share before we close?
Yeah, this is Isaac. What I'd like to share is I love the fact that I'm one of the few different species, because there's only 2 of us on this call.
Well, 3 was Victor.
Yes, Victor's gone. And the thing that I like about it is women are more of thinkers. I think I've told you guys this story before, but when I got married, my aunt pulled me over and said, Isaac, I want you to remember one thing. Women can outthink a man 5 to 1. I mean, in my case, it was 100 to 1, but still, I took that to heart, because that's one difference that I definitely see between guys and women. Women are more, they look for the future, and they're just thinkers. So I don't want to get men mad at me, so I'll just stop at that.
But she put you on the path, though.
Yes, she did.
She really did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we need all our voices. And when you include women, like I'll just say real quick some statistics. When they evaluated emergency room doctors and over 1,000 patients, and the survival rate, if you have a female doctor, is 40% higher than with a man. That's something to think about. My mastermind buddy changed his doctor to a woman. And similarly, when you have several women on the board of directors at a company, their revenues increase on average by 38%. 38%.
Well, and I
think,
can I say something about that, Cynthia? I think that one of the pieces that makes that work is that women tend to have that diffuse. We go into many different directions and we connect dots a lot. Men tend to be linear. So if you have the masculine and feminine brains kind of working together, that's what I call super genius teams.
Absolutely.
That's what that's all about. So it's not saying one's better than the other. They just augment each other and work. It's so complementary. It's the structure of genius, really.
That was your speech last week when you were saying how the 2 minds work together, and if you can be able to communicate and understand how they 2 work, you got it.
Right.
Yes. Right. Well, thank you all for sharing. And Isaac, would you like a virtual chocolate?
Sure, absolutely.
Absolutely. Here you go. Ching. Well, thank you. That was truly, truly an outstanding meeting, a community that we're building here of like-minded people who are diverse and inclusive, and we're going to take the world by storm.
Yeah.
My vision is that the world will function like Leaders Worldwide.
Well, I told you the whole thing of leadership, the whole dynamic of leadership is changing, and we are part of the change.
Absolutely. And we're in it to change it.
Looks like Carolyn, you had a question, Carolyn?
Just a comment. I want to remind everyone that we have the Toastmasters Leadership Institute training that is happening July the 17th. Several people in the room here will be a part of that as trainers. And our theme for this year is be prepared to lead. So I'm looking forward to you being present in community and connection for this wonderful dynamic that we are experiencing right now to be on display, because you'll be a part of it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And Carolyn, can you send me the registration information again? And I will post that in our Leaders Worldwide WhatsApp group. And maybe
Sure.
we'll send it out in the email.
Okay. All right.
Great. Because
And
everybody
Carolyn, can you send it to me too? So I can send it out to my heart to heart. And Cassandra, I put my email in the chat for you.
Okay.
Yes, on tomorrow night, I'm going to be sharing the promotional things that we have come up with. So just give me a day or so, all right?
Will there be a recording of tomorrow night?
I can record it.
That would be lovely.
That'd be great.
Cool.
Because it's my birthday.
Kimmy, happy
So
birthday!
there is something that has precedence. Okay, all righty.
You know, you gotta spend time with my husband.
You gotta.
I gotta let him celebrate me.
That's right.
You got
That's
to.
right.
I have to say this one thing, because when you said your comment, Isaac, I reflect on my mom. I have 4 brothers, and my mother told each one of my brothers, listen to me carefully. A woman is thinking when you're sleeping.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh yeah. That is hilarious. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So we're blessings
Amazing.
to one another.
Yes.
I'm complete.
Well, and I always, my email says there will, at the end says there will be peace on earth when men and women realize what treasures we are to each other.
To each other.
Absolutely. We can't have one without the other. They're both sides of the sky.
I just realized we are still recording. Could the recording be stopped?
Okay. We're going to end.
Well, we're going to.
Thank you so much. Sorry we went over a couple of minutes. Thank you, Rosemary. And have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Many blessings, everybody. Bye.
Bye.